After 18 days of being incarcerated, I pondered my thoughts in retrospect about a place that I once thought I'd never grace. As I lay in an empty-out recreation room, or perhaps an old library, I presume, alongside nearly 40 other men in a place that's dubbed the Fishbowl, I can't help but think of you. I try to distract my mind as much as I can and focus on the present at hand. I can visualize infinite amounts of germs and bacteria hovering over me as they pinpoint landing zones to join the already commencing force of savage rebels that frantically crawl all over my skin. I can't stand this godforsaken itchy wool blanket that causes me to toss and turn in discomfort. I try to block the thoughts of you out, but can't. There's a stir of echoes that emits from senseless chit-chat and laughs, scratches and snores, and other sounds of redundant pessimism. I'm still somewhat in disbelief. Disbelief that I'm here, in jail, with the realization that this would be my new home, for no one would be bailing me out. Well, hello there, my good friend Dowd. You're not even worth a measly $300, huh, buddy boy? No metaphorical tunnel can be seen to journey towards freedom, which drops my anticipation meter to somewhere between bleak and non-existent. Suddenly I realize that I've only been here 26 hours thus far. Have I been brainwashed? It feels as if energies have been compassed away to somehow drastically slow down time, yet have the illusion, as if sunrises and sunsets have rapidly passed. There isn't a restroom, or an old rusted bucket for that matter, in one of the corners here in the fishbowl to excuse oneself. Why does this type of inhumane treatment exist in a place meant to rehabilitate someone? Inmates take turns punching and or kicking the hollowed-out metal door, which percussions shotgun-like bangs that echoes throughout the halls. Eventually, the door opens abruptly and in enters the Department of Public Not-So-Safe Safety. After the barrage of curse words, taunts, and threats were then declined, our body's yearning requests to do its normal, natural function. I guess we must muster down the strength and continue flexing our cores to hold in our bodily fluids or, last resort, do the unsanitary. The smell of urine in the presently confined space has already blended into a foul aroma concocted of body odor, bad breath, open sores, methane, and a variety of unbeknownst food that inmates save in plastic cups from prior meals to feast on at their discretion. Suddenly, positive and loving thoughts and memories come flooding into my brain, presenting snapshots of moments that I forcefully dismiss. The voice within me knows better, and avoidance tactics deploy. You're a lone wolf, and it's mental warfare. Motherfucker! On guard. I must remain mentally strong and not allow any thoughts about the outside to cloud me. No room for spinning, only adjusting to the current overload of animalistic dynamics that is now my reality. I henceforth as if I'm programmed to prosper in my new lifestyle amongst my fellow melting mutations of men. Various muscles, sporadically spasms and cramps and aches and pain from laying this whole goddamn time on a 6 foot long by 2 foot wide, maybe 2-inch thick sorry ass excuse of a mattress. Okay, I think I just need to try and relax. I then slowly took a long deep breath, and when I was finished, for the first time in many moons, I reached out to him. God, please help me. Guide me through these times and make this all go away. I continually repeated this mentally, for only God knows how long this lasted, and then to my surprise, at last, it actually happened. I couldn't hear a word, no sound whatsoever. I'm completely and utterly at ease. I can do this. Oh, hi, it's you again. On November 14, 2017, I was arrested and detained for 3 charges, 2 of them felonies. It would take 60 days for my case to convene and receive my sentence from the judge. I remember those 60 days spent at Hawaii County Correctional Center very vividly, and as if it were yesterday. As I stated in the writing, day 18 is when I wrote this piece reflecting on my thoughts and reactions. However, by that 18th day, I no longer possessed any hope that someone, anyone, would pay the 10% $300 bond and free me and my sanity any day now. My aim in the Unwanted Stay was to describe how my brain analyzed the newly adapted way of life while incarcerated and the effects it had on my psyche. I hoped that the structure of my writing would be explained in a way so that the reader could really feel the experience that I did as if they were there themselves. However, I'd never wish that upon anyone. In my opinion, the worst part about being incarcerated was having to mentally block out all thoughts of my loved ones, no exceptions. Eventually, at some point along the way, I did become strong enough mentally, and my no exceptions rule could be lifted, for I was able to reminisce in my head of them once again without it affecting my emotions. I had been a very lost soul for a very long time in my adult life, as I was filled with anger, hate, resentment, and guilt. One day felt like 10 days, and to my surprise, 60 days wasn't enough. I'd eventually end up going back another 5 times in a span of the 18 months that followed. The Hawaii County Correctional Center would no longer just be the place where I had an unwanted stay. It will also always be remembered as HCCC, home of the revolving door, shuffle your feet, redundant cycle of misery.